Good morning. How are you all today? We're gonna have another good day here today, and I'm gonna get started a little bit earlier than Tiny. He's at home plowing out about 10-12 inches of snow they got last night. We got pretty fortunate though, we only ended up with a couple inches, so. Got old Jack there warming up. Skidder's there. We're gonna see if we can't add some more logs today. To figure out the lean you're dealing with, I usually just step it off right from the base of the tree. So we're dealing with like a 20-foot lean. And I'm going to show you guys how it's possible to drop a tree with that much lean and make it go the way you want it to go. Now, let's see here. What should my target be? I don't want to use that maple as a target. I'm going to use this stump right here as my target. We'll see if I can't get that tree stem to land on here. Alright, so I'm using that stump to aim at. So I'm going to aim about 20 inches to the right of that stump, give or take. I will say one very important thing when you're dealing with leaning trees like this is always do your cut on the heavy side first. You never want to cut on the light side and then come on the heavy side. You're asking for trouble if you do that. I usually like to put a couple wedges over here when I'm dealing with leaning trees like this. Alright, we got the heavy side bored out. Come over here and do the light side now. It's important also to have your hinge about as wide as you can get it on the stump. That's going to give you the most support. won't lie to you guys, I missed my mark by a few feet. But if you remember how hard it was leaning before, I guess I should have moved it over a little bit more. Should have told you guys I was aiming for that maple, apparently. That lean was probably pushing it for the hinge. You can tell how it pulled here. And you don't want to go any thicker neither. You could go a touch thicker, but you really don't want to go super thick with a hinge because you can start getting in the barber chairs, and that's more dangerous than being on the light side of the tree and having a hinge bust off. So just keep that in mind if you guys are dealing with leaning trees. You don't need a overly thick hinge. You don't need to make one side thicker than the other side. The important part is to make the hinge as wide as you can on the butt and keep it, I think keeping it all the same all the way across is plenty enough. I mean, that we were dealing with 20 plus feet of lean on that tree. So sure, it's fun how the weather changes in a heartbeat here. Sun will be almost popping out, and next thing you know, it's snowing 3 inches an hour. But that's New York for you. Old Tiny got here. Snowstorm pretty bad where he's from, so it took him a little while, but got the first skid. That's a heck of a skid. Alright, I gotta get back to cutting some trees. Alright, we have this hickory here. It's got a really hard lean. I actually think it might be uprooting a little bit, judging by the snow. But hickory, if you're not careful, you don't have your hinge just right, this stuff here will barber chair on you in a heartbeat. Just to give you guys an idea how hard this thing's leaning. We'll walk out here real quick. You know, it does have a limb or two that's up in this oak here, but I think they'll come off just fine. I mean, that thing's still directly above me. And I've seen people on the internet do what's called a step cut, where they'll cut in, they'll bore in, and then they'll pull their saw out, and then they'll bore in and pull their saw out. And I'm just going to tell you guys, I do not think that helps you with barber chairs. If you think about it, as a tree's going down, this is just opening up in the back. So it doesn't make sense to me how that'd prevent a barber chair. I don't know, maybe you guys can explain it to me, but as the tree's going down, that's just going to open up, and regardless, it's going to barber chair one way or another. So, but I'll show you guys how I cut a tree like this, and if you guys have any pointers for me on how that step cut works, then let me know. But as far as I'm concerned, I think it's just more extra work that you don't need to do. So. And guess what? Those dang branches are holding that tree up. unfortunately, guys, the old jack there, clutch decided to rip out of that in the middle of the woods. So she's spending the night in the woods tonight, and we're gonna probably dig into that tomorrow or the day after and see if we can't get it up here to the landing. Probably have to go get my dozer to get it out of there. So, but I hope you guys enjoy the video, and thanks for watching. Have a blessed day.